Hello everyone, prepare to get engrossed in a story that will capture your attention right away. We'll examine in more detail a set of photos of 44-year-old Elin Nordegren that have generated one of the most contentious online debates of the day. Some viewers have referred to her as the most indecent woman in the world, since the images went viral on social media and other news websites. Make sure to watch through to the absolute end to witness all the surprises and revelations that these pictures have. I guarantee that it is valuable to go over every detail before you make your own judgments or conclusions. Elin Nordegren is a name that many people identify with high-profile partnerships and a life lived in the spotlight, for those who may not be fully familiar with her background. Because of her personal choices and the images that show her in a way that goes against conventional norms, she has generated a great deal of controversy as well as admiration throughout the years. There is no room for interpretation because these most recent images are uncooked and raw, devoid of any filters or set scenes to hide anything. Elin has chosen to express herself in ways that are not traditional, regardless of whether you think her style daring or provocative. These images provide a glimpse into a side of her that few have previously seen, as each picture captures a moment of her distinct personality. These pictures have generated a lot of response. While some view the pictures as displaying a degree of audacity that verges on immorality, others see them as a fresh manifestation of self-assurance and independence. It is crucial to understand that when we use the term indecent, we are not implying that her character is objective, rather we are implying that these pictures go against the norms that are frequently expected of women of her age and background. In these photos, Elin doesn't hesitate to show off her uniqueness. Her demeanor, the clothes she wears, and even the camera angles all work together to create an overall style that questions social conventions and encourages reflection. The impact of the photographs is clear, regardless of your opinion on the title that has been assigned to her. The way these images combine artistic expression with personal remark is what really grabs my attention. Each picture appears to have been chosen with care to highlight a distinct facet of her character. Her easygoing yet confident stance conveys a sense of independence and a resistance to fitting in a number of the pictures. In others, the arrangement and lighting truly bring out the subtleties and curves of her body, offering spectators a whole new angle on her. An intriguing conversation is sparked by the difference between the visuals that are currently in front of us and what society often expects of a 44-year-old woman. Does it go too far in being overly revealing, or is it a celebration of independence and self-assurance? Everyone is talking about these kinds of questions. In and of itself, the decision to make these photos public is a message. By refusing to follow conventional norms, Elin Nordegren appears to be communicating that she feels at ease in her own skin. The images challenge us to look past appearances and challenge our own conceptions of morality and beauty. Public personalities have frequently exploited their image as a means of expression throughout history, and this is still true today. The controversy around these images shows how far we've come in redefining what it means to be a modern woman, one who is assertive, outspoken, and not afraid to question norms. You may have observed that the comments on these images are as polarizing as they are impassioned as you go through your social media feeds or read different internet evaluations. Some users applaud her for her bravery and for overcoming the limitations placed on her by the discriminatory norms of society. However, some have criticized her decisions, arguing that the pictures are too intimate or that they hold others to unattainable ideals. This difference is exactly what makes the subject so intriguing and deserving of discussion. Every like, remark, and share contributes to the expanding discussion about individual autonomy, self-expression, and what it means to be genuine in the modern world. Social media sites have been crucial to the spread of this conversation. With millions of people around the planet, pictures like these may go viral almost instantly. Every tweet and post adds to the discussion on appropriate or correct public imagery. For many, it's about a more thorough discussion about individuality and the freedom to express oneself however one feels most authentic, rather than just a collection of pictures. In many respects, Elin's photographs have come to represent this continuous fight against strict social norms, allowing spectators to join in and express their own ideas about what is decent and beautiful. It's also important to think about how these conversations affect our attitudes toward aging and accepting who we are. Pictures like this can have a significant impact in a society that typically prioritizes youth over experience. Elin Nordegren's age of 44 signifies a change in our perception of time, demonstrating the timeless nature of charm and confidence. The woman in the photos has accepted each stage of her life and is not allowing her past to define who she is. Many fans find this to be a welcome departure from the typical storyline, which all too frequently highlights youth and uniformity. Elin, on the other hand, is a live example of how to be truly good by being authentic and demonstrating that beauty can be found at any stage of life. As we learn more about this subject, it becomes evident that the controversy surrounding these pictures affects not just what is immediately apparent but also the deeper ideas they convey. These images are not the only examples of the long-standing practice of employing art and photography as vehicles for social critique. They make us think about our own prejudices and if our standards of decency are founded on outmoded societal mores or sincere care. When viewed in this context, the pictures do more than just provoke thinking. They provide as a springboard for more in-depth conversations about liberty, rights, and the value of free speech. Every picture serves as a conversation starter, creating avenues of communication that are essential in our dynamic environment. These discussions all lead to the same conclusion. It is impossible to overstate the ability of images to arouse strong feelings and stimulate the mind. That's exactly what Elin Nordegren's most recent images have done. These pictures serve as a reminder of the various ways that art and self-expression may be interpreted, regardless of whether you see them as a celebration of empowerment or as something that challenges you. They force us to reconsider our moral standards and honor the brave actions of people who defy social expectations. And people from all walks of life might find resonance in that message. I want to remind you to stick with me through this entire story as we continue to observe and absorb it. The background of these photos, the responses of both supporters and detractors, and the potential implications for future public conversation are all still largely unknown. Every little element, from the lighting in the pictures to the comments left online, contributes to the story's intriguing and even difficult premise. The questions these pictures pose about our ideas of morality and what it means to be really free are just as powerful as their visual effect. As we conclude this investigation, it is critical to keep in mind that the topic of discussion today is an opportunity to reflect more thoroughly on our worldview rather than an assault or condemnation. We are reminded of our own ideals and beliefs by Elin Nordegren's audacious act of self-expression. There is no doubting that the images are a potent means of igniting debate, regardless of whether you believe they are an audacious celebration of individualism or unduly controversial. They remind us that the purpose of all art is to provoke thought and question our preconceptions. I appreciate you joining me as I explore in greater detail one of the most talked about subjects on the internet right now. I hope my examination of the latest photos by Elin Nordegren was interesting and thought-provoking. Remember that every picture and every discussion is an opportunity to gain a deeper understanding of the world and ourselves as you consider what you have seen and heard. Therefore, whether or not you believe that she is the most filthy lady in the world, these images have sparked an important and continuing conversation. Watch this space for other stories that question our presumptions about self-expression, decency, and beauty. Additionally, if you enjoyed what you heard, watch every video all the way through, since there's always more to learn and a fresh information that could alter your perspective on the world. Enjoy the remainder of your day and allow these pictures to encourage you to think creatively and live freely, as the story's protagonist so beautifully demonstrated.